Hello, Jeff Patterson, Eric Nelson. Today in this video we're looking at armbar attack from the mount position. This is off of our basic first level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu curriculum, and we'll talk about some of the details and helping you be successful with learning how to set up that armbar. So if you could lay down here, please. All right, so we've already talked about our basic controlling positions from the mount. Now, when we're setting up the armbar, I always like to go with a double attack, and to get my hand deep on the lapel to have that double attack option. Right now his gi's all tucked in nice and tight. What I like to do is just give a little bit of space and tug this out a little bit, and now the gi is nice and loose. I don't want to pull it all the way out, I want it to be underneath me, but now I've got an easy approach for me to kind of zipper my hand right into that lapel and get a nice deep grip with my hand. Another thing you want to pay attention to is when I'm going to grab for the choke, I don't want to come in with a straight arm like this and lock it out and come down with my weight, because if he was to hit the back of my elbow here, I could be in a vulnerable position where I could be injured. Plus, I don't have much power or control. When I like to go for that grip, I kind of keep my weight down. I put my hand on him and my forearm on him, and then as I zipper this hand in, my elbow's bent, so even if he pushed on the back of my elbow, I'm safe. But also, now I'm using my pressure of my forearm as one of my posts. So this is kind of helping me control my base. Now, to set up the armbar choke attack, we go into that staggered position where I'm going to walk the knee up a little bit on this side. A lot of times we'll get here and this elbow's down. He doesn't want me to get in that attack position. So some of the things I can do is start to threaten the choke, and if he brings that up to defend for the choke, I use that to walk the knee up. Or another thing I can do is just turn his face a little bit with my forearm, or turn his face a little bit with my hand, and once I get him off to the side, that's going to lighten up over here, and I can walk that knee up and get into that staggered position. All right. So now from here, he's worrying about the choke, and when I'm going for the armbar, I like to really make him think I want the choke. And in fact, I always believe that if you can get the choke from the mount, it's always better than the armbar, because if you miss the armbar, you also kind of lose the position. So I like to make sure that the armbar is set up perfect before I risk the chance of losing the position. So in order to set this up, one is I want to get my hips kind of behind so he can't get that arm back in. It's kind of stuck here. The other thing I like to do for this setup is I turn his face away from me and I hook the shoulder over here. And now if you look at this, I'm kind of using this as a frame. If he was to upa in this position, I've got, go ahead and upa a little bit. I've got this hand free where I can use that to post, because remember, I'm always worried about containing the position before the submission, right? So I don't want to hold on and then lose the position just because I'm trying to turn his face. So once I've got him in this position here, a lot of times that's going to free up a little space here where I can sit out and trap this arm. And now I'm kind of in this good tight control here. I've got his head turned. It's almost like I'm pulling a bow. I'm pulling on the gi here, and I'm pushing with my forearm, and this is uncomfortable for him. Now from here, I'm just going to slowly move that foot over with nice control. Come in, come down, and armbar. Let's look at that again. So I loosen up the gi, bring that hand in, elbow bent, good control, forearm down. Try to get him to loosen up on this side, maybe turn the face. Maybe turn the face with the forearm, walk up into that staggered frog foot position. I've got good control here now. Now I can still go to the choke here. So a lot of times I'll get into this position and come back and go for the choke, or get underneath and go for the choke. Both of those are options. Maybe go around, go for the choke. But now we're talking about setting up for the armbar. So when we're going for the armbar here, I want to try to get this arm where I've got it trapped a little bbit, turn the head, hook the shoulder. Now I've got him nice and tight. I'm working on pulling that bow here. I'm keeping that tight here. Switch into the S mount, switch over here, lean a little bit into him. I want all my weight on his lower rib cage and his belly. And then bring that leg around. Notice how tight I stay to him. One of the mistakes I see people make is when they come over to this armbar position, they end up kind of sitting away from him, and there's space in here where they can start to escape and pull that arm out. So I want to stay tight with my hips when I come through here, and then I'm going to hook, come out, and lock it up. And you can bite the wrist with your elbow here on the flat part of his wrist, thumb up, or you can grab the thumb kind of like you're shaking his hand and come in here and go for the armbar. Always too, when you sit out, another mistake I see people do when they first start learning the armbar is when they sit back, their feet come up like this. That's just going to give him space to escape. So when that foot hits the mat, when I lean back, I'm pushing into the floor with my feet, so there's no space for him to come, and I can even extend that leg to turn his face away from me to kind of put a little pressure on him as I roll back with this one. All right. Those are some basic details for the armbar from mountain. Thanks for watching, and we will look for you in the next video.